Good morning, Plum here, playing World of Tanks. That right in the bottom of your screen is a nice white bear of a tank, the Panzer 58 Mutz. Purchased this a few months ago, I think, when I got a deal on it, I think. And this is my ace tanker game I had, 2 evenings ago in it. We're here on, what's it called? Siegfried line. I was going to call it Stalingrad line in my mind, and that's definitely wrong, and check what it's called. So this is something I'll often do in a medium or most certainly a light tank, is I'll try and get those early spots off and maybe do a bit of early damage. This bush here, you can push up to it in this sort of angle. You can give yourself quite a decent amount of camo. I haven't been spotted yet. Now I've definitely been spotted. I know I have. I don't need to wait for 6 cents to go off. I fired a shot from a very shallow bush. But we did get 252 damage, and you know the game's now not going to be a complete loss because I'm playing a premium tank. The patch at 2012T over there takes a bit of a tumble, gives me time to aim that one fully, and then for some reason, God only knows why people do things, I'm sure I make these mistakes myself, manages to reverse out, and I put another shot into the guy. So right now this is a pretty decent spot for me in my medium tank. I can remain pretty hull down, put some shots out, and you know the game's just over a minute old. I've done 750 damage. I'm pretty happy. Now I'm obviously looking at the mini-map, thinking, oh god, we have sent nothing to the field. I mean, we had the Victoria out there, but he obviously got nuked by the STR SVS1 T6s, whatever they're called. And the CDC decides to make a play and pushes out. I think he was probably using his sixth sense and thinking, there's no one looking, I shall push out. I was looking. Anyway, he manages to get a cheeky shot onto me. Then the bat chat also rains one in, and suddenly I've lost, you know, a good third of my hit points. Fully aimed that shot. I'm quite happy sitting in this spot because you've got this mound to your right hand side. It does give you some relatively strong cover from the rest of the field. So in a moment I'm going to just throw caution to the wind. I think I'm looking at the scores thinking, right, we're 2 tanks down, this thing needs to turn around. What can I do to influence it? There appears to be very little out in the field that I can detect, and using my the mod pack I use, you can see all the light bulbs of all the tanks that are detected, which is really useful. It does save a lot of counting on the mini-map, trying to work out whether everything's been detected yet. So I know there's still a couple of tanks undetected, but I'm thinking there's not. If there's only a batch at 12T in that field, I could kind of plug that gap right in the centre of the map where that T25 Pilot 1 is. Before I make that play, the batch at 12T pushes up, managed to get a nice tracking shot. So I pick up my damage, and I also pick up tracking damage as a little bonus there. So let's keep pushing up. Make that play happen. I'm thinking, in it to win it. Scores are now level. Let's go for this, because there's a couple of low hit point tanks around this corner, and I've got 900. Now, there's a shot that just missed, and this is where I'm going to find out where one of those tanks is. The Lorraine 40T's over there. Managed to get the kill shot on the ISU 152. Pull up. Don't go too far back, Plum. Just sit down there. You take damage from the T25 Pilot, but he then is nuked by Scorpion G out in the field. He also has a very good game. So now I can see there's a guard and Lorraine over there. I suddenly see the IS-3 is very low on his hit points. Managed to turn my gun on him. So now I'm kind of in a pinch here. Yes, I'm surrounded by tanks, except on one side. I've got the Strutzy S1s up in the north, a Tiger 1 off that corner, the Lorraine and the Guard down in the west of the map. I've just got to bide my time now. I've got 90 hit points to make this game happen. The team has managed to turn things around a little bit. Some of that might have been due to my little mini push here. You know, we managed to knock out a couple of tanks pretty quickly. The guard shows himself. I'm trying to be careful not to show too much of myself to the Strutzys up in the north, because I don't want to get hit by those guys, and they will hit you. I think that wreck of the ISU 152 was doing me a real solid favour there. Decided to take an auto lock on the Strutzy there. Managed to get a fire too, but the lurver finishes him off before the fire can burn too much. I'm not sure if he had his repair kit going then or not. Looking for cheeky shots on the Strutzy at the back. No, no good. We are starting to clean up now. They've only got 5 tanks left. So I'm suddenly thinking, well, it looks like I'm clear in the north. I should better get eyes on maybe the west of the map now. And we'll return some of the punishment they were dealing out to me as I pushed into this position. I wouldn't have pushed into this position if I didn't have those 900 hit points. I could take a couple of hits, and I was just hoping that I had my wits about me enough to make this position pay off, and it certainly did ultimately in the end game. I mean, I'm going to come top on the team and get my ace tanker. Unlucky to miss that shot. It was pretty well timed, but a slim to small target. And can we get some damage? We get a critical hit. Rob's 2,764 damage. I'm still looking for the kill shot on this Lorraine because he really did hurt me in the middle of that game, and I don't quite get it. I think maybe my shot just got there a fraction too late. What have they got left? All they've got left now is the guard. There he is. I'm looking at my damage and gaming. Oh, 2.7. It'd be nice if I could get 3. Decide to go for an auto lock just because I want to keep moving because I know he's probably going to back off into cover. Got to try and stay on him because I can see all my friendly tanks. This is like in it to win it now. Just I don't care if I die. I don't care. I just want to get more damage. Come on, one more plump. One more. Yes! 3,293. And the Lerva goes in for the ram kill. And ultimately, that was a really enjoyable game of tanks. I came away from that one feeling pretty fantastic, especially when I got to the results screen. Let's take a look. As you can see, there's my ace tanker. Also picked up some mini medals, engaged a good portion of their team in that match, and using the Panzer 58 Mutz's mobility and good gun handling. I mean, they seem to nail medium tanks these days. They have done for the last couple of years. You get a lot of the contention around the game is always around the heavy tanks or the high damage dealing TDs. The medium tanks, they seem to be on a good path at the moment. I think some of the buffs to the turrets on the British tanks that are coming still, I believe, and the T-44s recently, they might be a tiny bit overkill for a medium tank. I know it opens up gaming possibilities on the T-44 and T-44-100 and so forth, but they were fine as they were, weren't they? I mean, they're not supposed to have tremendous amounts of armour. I don't get it, really. But I'm not going to moan because I've got a T-44-100, and to have more turret armour is always a great thing. But yeah, game balance, I don't know. Anyway, team scores. I came second on damage. Yeah, just pipped by the Rheinmetall, so props to him for having a good game. Probably couldn't have done it without him, or this Lerva and a couple of these guys. We were doing the deeds back on this map. It was good fun. I enjoyed that game an awful lot. 1230 base XP, not to be sniffed at, and ultimately that gave me a really good take home with a premium account of 87,000. 522, managed to get 16 to hit and 15 of those penetrated. So when it's a level playing field like that, tier 8 games, they're pretty enjoyable. You know, if you aim at the sides of heavy tanks, you're going to pen them, or anything that's give you trouble is sometimes in front of some of the slower TDs and the front of some heavy tanks, but really you probably shouldn't be engaging the fronts of some of those tanks. You should be doing the job of a medium tank and, you know, playing the field, flexing around, trying to find opportunities that work for you, and pushing in the middle of that game seemed to be the trick in that one. A good start, picking off the CDC, getting a bit of damage, and then mid-game it was like, what do I do now? I'll push into them. I've got some hit points. Bit unlucky that they had some tanks over in the west that were able to capitalise on my push and take a lot of my hit points. I was very lucky not to die. If a couple of those shots had rolled higher, I might have been wiped out, and I'd just be watching from the sidelines. But luckily, and you always need a bit of luck to pick up one of these ace tankers, I didn't die, and I was able to get a couple of cheeky kills on the ISU and the IS-3, and put down some spotting damage and Straswagen on fire a little bit. All those little things, they all added up to what ultimately was the ace tanker for me in my Panzer 58 Mutz. My first, hopefully not my last. I like this tank. It's a good balance. It's not too big. I've been playing the Panther 88, and being physically much larger, it is a little bit harder to play. I'd probably prefer to play the Mutz over the Panther 88 at the moment, just down to the sheer size of the tanks. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Kadapal, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed that little battle in my Panzer 58 Mutz, and I will play World of Tanks again real soon. I can recommend that first bush I went to if you're starting in the south on Siegfried line. Try it out. If you're in a medium or a light tank with not too high a profile, that bush can get you those initial spots and that initial bit of damage before ducking into cover onto the right, just like I did in that game. Anyway, thanks very much. Take care, and have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.